person yelling to Harry, "Give him hell, Harry." But folks don't remember Harry's response. Because I'm going to tell the truth, they'll think it's hell. So let me tell you the truth about health care reform. The system's broken.
Right.
Out in California, one of the biggest insurers there just raised rates up to 39% on millions of people. Right across the river in Illinois, 60% hikes in some of the individual markets. It's not sustainable and everybody knows it. So what have we done? There's nothing radical about what we've proposed. We have said, look, some countries have a government-run system. That's not going to work for here in the United States. Some people, most of my Republican colleagues in Washington, seem to think that the best health care plan is just to let her rip when it comes to the insurance companies, deregulate further, and that somehow is going to give you more of a break. This is the fox's garden, the chicken coop theory of health care reform. What I've said is, look, we don't need government or insurance bureaucrats controlling your health care. We're going to put you in control. And we're going to do that in three simple ways. Number one, we're going to have the toughest insurance reforms in history. A patient's bill of right on steroids. So they can't deny you coverage because of a pre-existing condition. So that they've got to cover young people up to the age of 26. So they don't have fine print that will prevent you from getting the care that you need or allow them to drop when you get sick. Insurance reform. Number two, what we're saying is, you know what? Members of Congress have a pretty good deal on health care. You know why? Because they're members of a big pool of federal employees. They've got millions of people in their pool. So like any big company, they can negotiate for the best rates. What about you? What about you? Why shouldn't you be able to do the same thing that members of Congress can do? So we're going to create a pool for you that will drive down your premiums so that you've got leverage, so that you can get a better deal. Oh!
Hello!
All right, was that Mitch McConnell back there trying to...
That was well point.
Yeah, see, they don't like when we start telling the truth.
You got that right.
So that's number two. Number three, we're going to drive down costs. We are going to drive down costs. Now, let me tell you, some of you may have heard of the Congressional Budget Office. This is the office that basically decides, it's the referee on how much things cost. According to the Congressional Budget Office, our plan passes, and folks right now who have to buy insurance in the individual market or small markets because they don't have a big employer that's looking out for them, they will save 14 to 20% on a comparable plan to what they're purchasing right now. That's money out of your pocket. That's money that's right now is going out of your pocket that would go back in if this health care reform passed. Employers, according to the Business Roundtable, would save up to $3,000 per employee in reduced premium costs if health reform passed. That's their numbers, according to the Business Roundtable, not my numbers. The deficit over the next 2 decades will be reduced by $1 trillion if health care reform passes, and that's why it can't be if, it's got to be when. We are going to get this done, and we're going to get it done soon. And it's time for an up or down vote in Washington on health care reform. Tired of talking about it, let's get it done. To hear this chant.
Yes, we can.
We got to start this chant up in Congress.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Because what ends up happening in Washington is that right about now, when it's time to actually just go ahead and get this done, this is when folks get the most nervous. Oh, there's just so much, noise out there. Just the echo chamber. It's getting people all stressed out. Stay the course. Stay the course is what I tell them. And, we were meeting with some supporters back here, and a couple of them said the same thing. They said, don't let them wear you down. And I tried to explain, I don't get worn down. I wear them down.
There you go.
I don't get worn down. You know why I don't get worn down? Because of the woman I meet in Pennsylvania this past week who found out that her health insurance premium has just gone up 100%. Or the mother up in Green Bay, who I met last year, who's got 2 small kids, breast cancer is metastasized, and instead of just worrying about how she can get well, she's having to fight off the incredible debt that's coming because of these limits that are placed on her insurance coverage. She's got insurance and is still worried about her family going broke. Now, if she's not tired, if she's still fighting,
Right.
then I'm fighting. If they're not getting worn down, then I'm not going to be worn down. And if I've got somebody like Claire McCaskill next to me, if I've got Claire McCaskill in the foxhole with me, if I've got somebody like Claire McCaskill in the Senate bucking people up and telling them we don't give up, we don't get worn down, then I guarantee you, we're not just going to pass health care. We are going to do what is required to make sure that the middle class here in America once again has the ability to control its own destiny. We don't shirk from a challenge. We don't shrink from responsibilities. We embrace them for our children and the next generation. We don't worry about the next election. We worry about a longer term. And that's why you're here. That's why you supported me in this campaign. That's why you supported Claire McCaskill. Don't give up on me now. We're just getting started. Thank you, Senator.